And we've started.
Awesome. Welcome everybody to Vanass. And Cal, would you please record the session?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says that I don't have permission.
More. I don't have control of any of those buttons. Apparently.
It is done, Calvin.
It records automatically, actually.
Yeah.
I saw the notice saying this is
recording.
Okay,
awesome. Okay, so we have attendees trickling in. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Mario, and we have Calvin also on the other webcam. And we're from Vanass. I am the CEO of Vanass, and then Calvin, he's the head of faculty. We see many people trickling in, and we have plenty of portfolios to review. Now, we're going to go quickly through these sessions because we need to ensure that everyone gets feedback. And we'll try to get feedback as we see people coming in so they can actually see their portfolio being reviewed. And before going into feedback, let's get on to the what is Vanass for the ones that are new. Cal, if you want to explain that.
Sure. Okay. We've been around for 10 years. We're a fully online school, with the exception that we've added in the last almost 2 years what we call a combined course as well, which means 1 day a week you come in to the Vanass offices and take your classes there. We teach digital art. Okay, we started with 2 courses, which is 3D animation and concept art. And now we have 10 different diploma courses, which also include visual effects. And if you'll just kind of pop through them, Mario, to refresh my memory.
You see my screen or not?
I do.
Yeah, so it's animation, right? Concept art, effects, and then video games. Would you like me to go through each one of these ones?
Sure.
There you go. So animation, you're going to see, let me go into this one. Animation would be, this is a website. So it's a good idea that you guys know how to navigate on the website. So the animation programs we have here would be right there, Cal.
Yeah, we have 2D computer animation. The most done in North America is right here in our city of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. We're also have a school in the United States as well. We offer an intro course, which is 3 months, and that's a combination of all of our courses. You'll get, a little taste of each of those to learn if you like doing digital art or take online education. And the other one is our diplomas, which are 12 months in duration. So you're getting 4 terms, and that's 3 months of each term. We also have 3D computer animation, right? Using rigs. It's like the Pixar animation that you see. We also have a animated short film diploma course that requires you to already have taken a year of animation, either 2D or 3D, at our school or another school, or have worked long-term in the animation industry, animating. So that's for students that want to make a short film. Intro to Digital Arts, that is the short intro course. Professional career development. This is for students that have finished going to school or almost finished going to school. And it's really, the idea is to help you get your first job. So it'll show you how to put together your portfolio, your resume, and proper interviewing techniques. We have writing for animation, which again, to my knowledge, is super specialized. There are no other schools teaching this online, and they teach you how to put together a pitch Bible for your own television series. Did we want to show the other courses? Okay.
Yeah, let's go quickly through concept art for them to understand what this is.
Concept art. That is everything in animation has to be designed. So again, we have the 1-year diploma course, and you're learning to design characters. You're learning to design environments, both exterior and interior. You're learning to design vehicles and props. So that's concept.
Awesome. Let's move on to visual effects.
Okay, visual effects. We have advanced 3D modeling, so it's very high end using ZBrush for very complex 3D models. We also use Maya. Most of our software is free, open source, or free to students and teachers in schools. And you're learning to model characters, environments, props, and vehicles. Digital map painting, very highly sought after course and skill for the industry. You're learning to do set extensions. You're learning to add more into the environment. You're putting ships into harbors. You're adding a second level of a building above the first level. You are changing the season from summer to winter, adding snow. Effects animation, pretty much what it sounds like. But we do everything very high level, very high quality. And this is using the software Houdini. So you can manipulate all the aspects of the effect to do your smoke, fire, rain, thunder, lightning. Okay.
Awesome. Let's move on to the last stream for the interactivity stream, which is this one.
Esports, fairly new course for us. I think we've only had it for about a year. This is people that want to come and learn how to put on tournaments and do a little bit of managing teams, not learning the actual gameplay. Okay, these are people that are controlling the esports activities, in the stadiums and stuff like that. What else do we have? Video game design. And again, this is a great course because it's teaching you how do you design the game and how do you build your own game. It's not just, most schools I've been at, they're only showing you how to model a character, model a vehicle, and that's not designing a game. Here you're learning how to use Unity to build a game. Okay, virtual reality, again, a fairly new course. I think we've had it for about a year now. I think our first student will be graduating this term. Working with virtual reality software, right? This is the next step in design, I believe, where you're learning skills so that people can use goggles and virtually be anywhere, or figure out how to get inside an engine to fix it. And I think that's it. Okay.
Awesome. So now let's just turn it back to them. So before we see the portfolios, here are your hosts. You can see Calvin Leduc. This is his IMDb. You can ask him any questions about this. Tarzan, Hercules, The Lion King, Treasure Planet, and a lot of these things. I find that it's a good idea for you guys to know who are the hosts of the webinar, so you can see that. You can review his IMDb whenever you want, and this is my IMDb right here. The main difference between Calvin and myself is that I am more on the computer animation, again, phase of the industry, and then Calvin, as before, you can see he's mostly in the classical animation, the golden age of animation. Awesome. Some interesting data for you guys to see the portfolios that we're reviewing now. We have more attendees coming in. These are the main countries: Nigeria, Canada, the US, India. This is Colombia, Pakistan, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago. For you can see that people that know VANAS from before, people that are new into VANAS as well would be here, and this would be the portfolios that they are sending for their corresponding programs. And this is now data that you know the programs, and you can see the first one would be people applying for the concept art program, then 2D animation. Third place would be video game design. And then we go into 3D animation, and then we have modeling and matte painting. Most of the people, Cal, would be interested in starting on the winter. That would be January the 3rd. And for that, you see on the main page on the website, you're going to see also like the rounds for that date. That is right here, right? And the days that you have for the round 3, which is this one. or actually this one, we're on round 2 and we're going to be going to one more round.
So
Now going
ideally,
back. Yeah,
people will
exactly.
be enrolling by before the middle of December.
Yeah. So the webinar, it is mainly for people that are looking for admission.
Yes.
Right, and you can see what they're looking for. They send in portfolio, they want feedback, they need some specific areas to focus on the studios, right? Things that they say. So this is them. So now let's go one by one of these portfolios. We have a lot more attendees coming in. So again, reminder for the portfolios, we've seen them quickly just to make sure that we're going to be showing portfolios that are in line with VANAS. But you will also get a nice live review, which is, it's a quick one because we have a lot of portfolios to go through. We expect to go between 1 or 2 minutes on the per portfolio, so we can park in the specific area. So first one, Cal, would be somebody named David.
Good name.
And yeah, David, he's applying for to the animation.
All right.
One sec. Sorry, I am wrong. He's applying for concept art and he is from our neighbor country right here. So let me show it to you before.
Iceland.
There you go. So he has a portfolio that has many pieces. You guys can see it right here. And I'll go slower. Just want to see Calvin to see the breadth of pieces that he's sending. So let me go back to the top. And then Cal, if you want to open just by saying what you told me before about like, what is it that they got to be submitting? What is that we're looking at? And so on, like the 5 pieces of portfolios, like not sending different emails or different formats, like all that, right?
Yes, I agree. Okay, for us, it's very important aspect that students submit a portfolio. We just don't accept students just because you have money. We want proof that you have artistic skills already and that you've been doing this. We want to see, if we're asking for 5 pieces, then please only send 5 pieces. Please send all the same format, like one link, or they're all JPEGs. Don't make us jump through hoops to try and find where your artwork is. And usually you want a bit of a selection. So not just characters, characters and maybe environment piece or a prop, right? It can be interior, exterior of an environment or a vehicle, right? Car, ship, a boat, space vehicle. So can you scroll down while I'm talking?
Yeah.
I do like that I see full figures because that's showing anatomy. I like that I am seeing the faces because that is portraiture. All very important aspects of being a character designer. Show the type of art you like doing. If you're into superheroes or sports, show that. Don't show little cute, animals. Although for character design, it is good to often see a little bit of variety. So maybe an alien or an animal, not just one single thing, that it's all adult males between the ages of 20 and 30. Doesn't really show a range of, can you do an older character or a little younger character? Again, that's good. Different angles of the character, the same character.
Yeah, the 3/4 angle.
Costumes.
We have some action poses right there.
Yeah.
We have a bit of foreshortening, right? Like on those hands, like foreshortening. It's a complex object, but you can see that hand pointing at the camera.
Seeing expressions on a face, that's all good.
Yeah, different designs for costumes. This would be a lineup. This is a typical assignment in the studios for concept art, that they ask you to have the same character with different outfits.
Right.
Now this one looks so different, this one, from the same artist. You can see some of the line work, action poses, like better, I guess better understanding of the anatomy, what you were saying before. You can see the feet on the ground. This is good, right?
This is
better
more mechanical,
angles.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Different material, metal, as opposed to cloth and skin.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the thought process behind the concept, right? Like all these annotations. It's also really nice to see that. But I can say that if you go back to the previous one, like this one looks really finished, and it almost seems that this one is from a different person, right? But it's not. So that's what we want to standardize your designs. Now look at this one, GL05 squirrel, Goldilocks, different concepts. So they may give you the Goldilocks keyword, and you gotta really come up with what does that mean for you visually.
I was given the advice when I was in school that practice your printing. Okay, you want your printing to look good. You want it to look legible, to be easy to read as well. It shouldn't just look like something you scribbled off, you know, and it doesn't make your work look as polished or as professional. And you want everything on that page to look as professional as possible to get you a job.
Yeah, this one's pretty awesome. Look at that, the golden guy, and then we have all these expressions. The idea when you send portfolios like this ones, you want to show the concept, right? You want to show that there is a concept behind the drawing. You don't want to be showing just portraits. I mean, this shows the draftsmanship, but the idea for the position of a concept artist in the studios is that they got to be able to come up with a concept. Like, what is it?
The outfit,
going down below.
Who's the character?
This is the same as before. And then portraits, different angles. Like, this is tough to draw, but like ultimately you need to prove that you're not, or you may be using a photo for this, right? And that's why the idea for the concepts, like the ones that are like here, that's a concept, right? These ones are concepts, so that's what you want. So this portfolio, I think, is great. The coming through a program with Vanas and then being taught by the faculty from studios, the idea is that they will be taking their level of draftsmanship into a production level. Right, let's move on, Cal, because we have a lot more to go. You guys can type your questions on the chat and we'll review those questions slowly. Then we have Kiana. Kiana, I see on the attendees. Let me pull this up. This is Kiana. And she's applying, Cal, for the 2D computer animation diploma program.
Okay. And
he has a nice website. This is the opening image. One of the things that we saw from this website, you have to be careful, Kiana, that you have an indication that there's more, because it opens like that and there's no menus. And it took me a little while just to know, oh, you got to scroll down. Many of the recruiters in studios, they may not scroll down. So just have a little indication that there's my portfolio is down there, like this one, right? You may want to have this, my work. You may want to move it higher. There you go, Cal. So this is the portfolio for Kiana.
Okay, you said
2D animation.
2D animation. Okay. Okay, I'm just kind of looking back and forth. I often want to see the full character. I want to see how good are the poses, the anatomy, the character design. Often people have difficulty drawing hands, feet. So, you know, make sure we can clearly see those in the pose. The designs are appealing. I do like that. I do like that there's a variety. You have very simple, like fruit designs, and then you have, you know, male, female, older characters, younger characters. I would just prefer as well to see more of the full figure, you know, not just, it feels, you know, if I don't see legs, it looks like you're more of a designing a doll or.
Yeah, she seems to have like really nice artwork, and the line, the quality of the line, the poses. Like, look at this one, has a pretty nice composition. Like, what about how important, Cal, would be to have a layout for 2D animation, like the environments that you were talking about before?
I don't personally need to see environments if you're wanting to be a 2D animator, because you're going to be primarily animating characters. What I do think is missing is life drawing. Life drawing, where you're drawing humans, whether they're closed or not closed, very important for being an animator. It shows that you know anatomy, that you know proper structure, that you know balance, that you can draw action, that you know line of action, right? So I would say work on that and include
Like,
that
what
in your
about Kel?
portfolio.
Let me tell you a couple of things about those comments. Like, she seems to have a pretty particular style.
Mhm.
And then you were mentioning that before. So she's one that has defined the style, very
Mhm.
cartoony, very I'd say standardized. You can see all the drawings. Would you like? Is that a good thing, or would you like to see? I want to see cartoony, but also realistic, or I want to see also. I don't
Maybe
know.
an animal, an alien. Go down to the GOT, Game of Thrones, right
This
there.
one.
Yeah, that's getting to a little bit of a different style. I think that is important. The likelihood that you'll work your entire career in one single style, never going to happen. When I did my first couple years in the industry working on TV series and TV specials and television commercials, every project was a different style, and you have to be able to adapt and do the different styles. If you're a good artist, you should be able to. So show them maybe 2 or 3 different styles to encourage them that you have that ability.
All right, so let's move on. Kiana, I think this is great. I like it a lot. Thank you for making it easy for us to look at the artwork. One website, all the portfolios right there. We can see the about page. We can see more about Kiana. And it's easy to scroll, easy to navigate. And thank you for all that stuff. Let's move on. Thanks, Kiana. Let's move on to the next one would be, we have now.
Another piece of advice, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just please don't submit to anybody file sizes that are too big, right? If they're massive, sometimes they don't even load properly. And other times, nobody just wants to accept 1 gigabyte, right? It's just too big. You're using up all their memory. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it, Mario.
All right. Okay. Now moving on to somebody named Wajahat. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name well. Interested in 2D computer animation. Now, this would be one of the portfolios that he's sending movement, not so much static images. And this is also one of the portfolios that we had a bit of difficulty on knowing, okay, which ones are the pieces that we gotta be looking at. So this goes to the previous comment from Calvin saying you have to be selective, and that's why we ask for a simple instruction saying, please send us your 5 best pieces that you consider to be your best representation of your skills, right? I think this is amazing that there's a lot of production behind it. But then for us would be, you have to let us know which ones are important, because when we look for the 2D animation diploma,
silly devil.
See, like this would be one that I'm looking at, that it has 2D animation, right? But we have to pick and choose. So we want to let you do that, not us. Like, you gotta send us the specific pieces. I can just send 5.
Yeah, and if it is different clips, they should be edited together. The best advice, again, I worked for years in the States, in California, and I'd go to meetings or discussions in the union where they would tell you what they want. You basically want the person that's looking at your work to push one button. That's it. And it plays, or we see the images or whatever, but you shouldn't have to hunt and peck. Nobody's going to spend half an hour to try and view
Exactly.
your stuff.
Yeah. So Wajahat, I think this is great. What we're looking in for the 2D animation program is movement, that they already know what 2D computer animation is. So this is more cutout animation that he has, Cal. You can see it right, playing right there.
Mhm.
And it's not really, it doesn't seem to me that it's like 2D drawings yet. Like he has one character and then he masked some of the layers and like he's moving these pieces, but it is not yet what we consider a character animation, but it's a really good start.
Right. We're not seeing a true walk cycle or
Right.
or
And I was looking
performance.
for those ones. Yeah, I was looking for those ones. Like we know that there's many types of software like that they offer. Like for this one, there's the these ones are called like videos that explain things, like the explainer videos.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of like plugins and things that are already animated. So we will need to see that they have the ability, right? Like this one right here. This may be already with motion from the software, but we gotta see that they have the ability to animate something like this, right?
Yeah. You want to see, does the character know how to push something, pull something, lift something, right?
Yeah.
They're interacting. They know how to do dialogue.
Yeah, look at this one. So again, cutout animation, this one seems to have a lot more effort from the actual user, right? And the software, which is good for us. We really understand, okay, where is he at in his journey for understanding what 2D animation is. So I guess from this point on, for Wajahat, be selective. When you apply to the school, just send 5 pieces and make them more like this one. Like we need to see 2D animation with characters. There is other type of animation that he has, but they're not really constitute 2D animation per se. They may be for computer animation or visual effects. So choose the program wisely and then focus your portfolio on that program specifically. You can always talk to the advisors and you can always send more things and then we'll refine the portfolio at the end. Cal, any final thoughts before we move on?
I was just going to throw out as part of being a professional, learn to follow instructions. So if a company asks you to submit 5 pieces, and I know at Disney, if you submit 6 and they only want 5, they'll just close it up and hand it back, or just send you a rejection letter going, you don't know how to follow instructions, goodbye, we'll find somebody that does know. Very important.
Yeah, as a student, we understand that you may be nervous about sending things. Yeah, try to be more selective, and you're the one that knows, okay, what is my best piece? And sometimes you may be working on one piece like forever and you have certain attachment. Like do not let that attachments, tell you this is my best piece, because it may not be the best one, right? Try to look at it in a very cold way and detached way for you to send the final work. But yeah, good work. Let's move on. We have Michael. Let me close this one, close this one, close this one. Let's go to the next one. Michael. He has his own website, pretty awesome. And he is, Michael, he's actually a Vanas alumni card, and he was taking the concept art program, right? And this is, I think he graduated maybe about 2 years ago. So this would be now his production work.
He's not applying for any courses?
Yeah, sometimes they come back for more courses, right? But I think it would be a good idea just to review his work. Let me open it up. And you can see the, let me go back to this one. So you can see first the arrangement of the images. Again, good website, nice and clean. He has that variety of different projects like the alien that demonstrates the organic approach. Then this, we call that the mecha, right? This is more mechanical.
Mhm.
then characters, creatures, some of the
Yeah.
environments, and let's just open some of the concepts. Like this would be a pretty awesome concept right here.
So here's an environment. You can't expect just to be, when you start in your career, character designer. They are going to require that you do environments as well.
And it makes sense because if you guys think about a game or a movie, there's just a handful of character design. Would be the protagonist and then some of the supporting actors or characters in the game. But then there's a lot of like backgrounds, right? A lot of sets, a lot of locations. So this is where the bulk of the work is. And they work obviously on the perspective, the design, the concept, the lighting right here, the color palette, which is pretty awesome. This is a really good website. I like it. The only the only thing that I had trouble with is that once you open a design, you see it opens a broken page, which is one, you gotta be able to fix those things. And then the other thing that I found is that if you open any of these designs, then it takes me out of the website. So you have to think about that, because what I was doing first is that I opened the image. I didn't notice that it took me away from the website. And then you close the image, but you close the whole website, right? So just make it easy for the users, for us, the school, and for studios to be able to navigate through your website without leaving the website.
Yeah, maybe right click on those images and tell it to open in a different browser or a different tab. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Now let's look at
as
this
soon
one.
as somebody sees that it's broken, they'd probably just stop. I mean,
Yeah.
they have so many to look at. Okay. They don't waste time. This is a great creature, right?
Yeah, awesome work. Awesome work. One of the things that I know Michael from before, from the school, and he also had a pretty professional attitude. And he was always like, yeah, I'll improve my work. He was always like doing more and more and more. And that's why and how he got to this level.
Can I see that fish vehicle?
Yeah, let me go back to it. Which one is it? This one?
Yeah, on the right.
Yeah, open that in the window.
Again, just being very appealing, very creative, right? Show me something I haven't seen before, as opposed to, character walking around with a fish tank on his head and a fish in there,
Yeah, awesome. Let's move on.
Thank you.
To VJ. Yeah, VJ, one sec. VJ, he's applying for the 2D computer animation program. And this would be one of the submissions that is incomplete, Cal.
Really?
Yeah. So I think he wasn't reading instructions properly, and he didn't know how to send the portfolio. Right, so he completed the whole form, but at the end we say link to your portfolio, right, and the link doesn't point to anywhere. So again, just another one of those ones that be careful in reading the instructions, following what we need and how we need it.
True. On this fish vehicle, my recommendation would be on the side of the vehicle, put a little line through all these fishes of how many fish he's run over. But that's just my personal suggestion. You don't have to take it.
All right, VJ, submit again, please, and make sure that the link opens and works. Moving on to Sylvia. Now, Sylvia, she is applying for the concept art program. Let me pull up the link right
I hope
here.
everybody's aware of, it's a great time to get into 2D animation. Disney is opening a new studio here in Vancouver this January, which is what, a couple months away, to do a 2D animated series for their Disney Plus channel. So this is a great time to be training and getting into the industry, guys.
Yeah, pretty awesome. So now look at Sylvia. She has all these images.
And what is she applying for?
Concept art. And you can see a lot of portraits. This one also seems to be working of photographs. Yeah. Right. Anyone, any image that you want me to open?
Just kind of start at the top again. My recommendation would be, I need to see some full figures. not, if you click on any of them, just, am I seeing more, or is it, are we cut off at the knees?
No, this is the one.
Okay,
This is
so it
one.
is full figures. Good, good. We'd like to see different views. Show me a front view, a side view, a 3/4 view, right? Show me
Right.
different costumes, show me different color choices, different color
Right.
palettes.
Look at the hand scale, what you were saying before. Like it's complex, right? These things are the anatomy. It takes time to understand how the hand works with the holding that prop, the knife.
Show me action poses.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if I click on the other image right here.
Try not to twin. You don't want two hands doing exactly the same pose.
Yeah,
You want to see, what does this hand look like open, and what does this one look like closed? Things like that.
yeah, this one's a pretty good concept, I think. And again, this is Sylvia. I think this is awesome. Like concept-wise is one thing that speaks about your imagination to create, like how creative you are. And then the other piece of the puzzle would be like, can you really draw what you see with your imagination, right? So this is all the draftmanship. So I think this one looks nice. Good concept. Again, concept would be the only thing that they're looking for. This would be a portrait like that. This is, I'm guessing that she's looking at a photo or someone in real life.
There's good quality of realism. I would
Mhm.
suggest possibly seeing a couple of other pieces of a different style, because
Yeah.
it feels very realistic.
Yeah, and then Sylvia,
Realism is hard to do.
previous
Sorry.
students, when we see this kind of work, previous students that they have this quality of realism, they may be better suited for studios that they have games that are realistic, right? So there's some games or movie productions that are very cartoony. And then you have the visual effects movies, the console games that you see typically in Xbox and PlayStation, that they have like realistic concepts. So it's a good thing. It's a compliment. It's good.
Drawing costumes is good skill. Different time periods. Animals, I'd probably want to see the whole animal to see, do you know the proper structure, anatomy?
And then
How
try
does
to
a
apply
wing-
some concepts to this one, right, Cal? So you see like what's happening with this on the conceptual front.
Different mediums. It doesn't all have to be digital. It can be hand drawn, it can be Conte, it could be pastel, it could be sculpture, right? Doesn't have to be just digital paintings.
Right. Look at this one. Nice. Yeah, I think the coloring, and I think the ability to use a tablet. I mean, I think that you see it right here. We're guessing that you have a Wacom tablet or something like that, and you're doing this in Photoshop straight. So the technical ability of using Photoshop or whatever software you're using, like it shows. So this is good stuff. Again, more resolution on like the ear, right? Like what is it? How do you solve that? Like how does that work? That this is like really understanding this is anatomy, and this is the ear and the functionality of that ear. But it just needs more time because these ones take quite a couple of days, I believe.
We do have a great course in our FAME learning platform on digital portraiture, which we had a professor do for us from America, actually.
Yeah.
Nice expression. I like seeing that it doesn't look like a model.
Yeah.
Static, like a mannequin. Different expressions is good to see. Do you know how to deform the face, the facial muscles?
Yeah, this is awesome. So Sylvia, we have a lot of students that are they have similar abilities, that they have a really satisfactory draftsmanship, and then they come to the school for the concept art program so they can actually like now understand how studios in the entertainment industries work, and then transform their thinking into what studios need. Right. So this is a really good start, really good portfolio, I think. It's missing the concept piece, but that's something that anyone can learn at the end of the day. Okay, let's move on. Cal, any final thoughts on this one?
Just, I really didn't see an environment showing knowledge of perspective. That's massive, a very important skill.
Is that
Okay,
really one?
here's one. But it's very, well, it almost looks 3D modeled, right?
Yeah,
It
it's a
is.
SketchUp or something like that.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about something drawn or something painted.
Yeah, I don't think I saw anything like that.
Of an entire room or an entire building, right? A complex. Is it a whole house? Is it?
Right. Yeah. So Sylvia, you try to get more environments for your portfolio as well. Okay, let's move on. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you for your submission and then for taking the feedback. We're moving on to Ania Biet. And she or he is taking the 3D animation program. And I'll open this.
They're taking or they're applying?
They are applying, sorry, applying
Okay.
for the, now, okay, so she sent or he sent their portfolio now, and you can see it. One of the notes that she has, Cal, is that, let me see. Oh yeah, no, she needs to know just about the date and the time of the lectures for the classes. Let's look at this portfolio. Let me maximize it.
Now, anytime you see that they've actually done some animation, is a good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a camera move.
Yeah, just camera work.
You had two characters walking, but it'd be nice to see the actual legs and the feet. That's the most important part of any character walking. You know how to properly do the stride pose and the passing pose and the timing.
Yeah, and then Cal, just on the previous portfolio with Sylvia, she's saying that she had some of the environments, but she didn't upload them.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be a nice thing. Sylvia, thanks for letting us know, and would be a nice thing to have on the portfolios, like 5 pieces, and then you try to do those 5 pieces with a variety of work. Typically, it's 4 things. You have the environments, the character work, something on the mecha, which is the mechanics, and then the props, right? That's as simple as that. Now, going back to this one, Cal, I think this is pretty cool that she knows the computer stuff, and she sent more things. Let me open one more.
So when I see the vehicle, is it meaning that they modeled the vehicle? There was some kind of bike.
This one.
Yeah, and then some kind of. So that's what I'm imagining. It's an additional skill. Usually it's not a requirement unless you're in a very small studio that you know how to model if you're an animator. But if you're in a small, 2-3 man studio, yes, you probably have to model a character and know how to rig it.
Right. Now, Ania, the other emails that you sent, they open the same link. So it's the same reel. Now this one seems to have, oh yeah, it's the same as before. So I don't know, it looks like good lighting here on the 3D aspect. Would be nice to see more motion, right, Cal, like this one? Yeah,
that's just, could I see the entire character?
Yeah, like not just like medium shots, and that's from the waist up. You really want to see, if I pause it right here, we want to see the feet.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not faking or hiding anything. We want to see how your understanding on that. And there's no shortcuts that are being taken, at least for this stage. Later on in movies, we use shortcuts because time and budget are a factor, but at least at this stage for the school, we need to see your understanding. But I think this portfolio qualifies for the 3D program. Cal?
Yeah.
I think what happens with 3D, with what you're saying, what happens with 3D is that like many people want to get into 3D, but they've never opened a 3D program or watched any 3D tutorials on YouTube, right? And it's a bit of a red flag. So it's nice to see that they have a 3D portfolio. So at least now they know what they're getting at. The what happens typically with the challenges of 2D versus 3D is that 2D is very I'd say very manual, like very analog. You're drawing right with your hand. It's nice. It's a great feeling. And then once you move into the computer where you're using the mouse, right? So it's a whole new world and a whole new technique that not many people do that transition. So this is what we want to see, that you know you've experienced the 3D interface, right?
All of the animation portfolios for applying to a school should include live drawing. Live
Right.
drawing of figures, full figures, different lengths of time for the drawings, gestures, action poses, animal drawings.
Right. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Then about the question that she has, date and times of lectures, date and time of lectures. All that would be posted right here on the website. If you go into the program, you go to the website, you choose your campus, Canadian or US, and then you click on the animation. In this case, you go to 3D, the program, and then you'll see that there's a navigation menu that says start date. Now you click on this one, and it takes you now to the start date, the dates for the application, and just below this one, Calvin, who arranges the scheduling for the whole faculty, it says this program, it runs on Mondays at 7 p.m. and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Please note that this is Vancouver time. And there's also additional classes that you can attend for in the mornings or the evenings.
Right. This is the first term class times.
Yeah. And then Annie is asking, can she only apply for the year program? So yeah, all these programs are 1 year in length, right? And then she may be referring to the joint diploma programs that you can see, the joint programs. That's when you want to get 2 programs in one, right? It's also a really good idea, right? And then you pick and choose how to combine these ones. So one program complements the other program. So the answer is, Annie, you can use that one, just 1 year, or you go into the joint diploma programs. You don't have to make a decision now. We have to see how you progress, and also if you get admitted for the joint program. Okay, move on. A lot more portfolios coming on. Now we have Sergio. And he's applying for the advanced 3D modeling. That's nice because this is more visual effects. Let me pull that up here and scroll down. So this would be a portfolio that we saw this before. And by that, I mean yesterday. Pretty advanced portfolio. He has some of the environments you can see. This is a bedroom, right? He has experience in modeling, lighting the shots, texturing, you can see.
Yep.
Right, so like all the look and feel of this, which is pretty awesome.
Occasionally we'll get a person that has a lot of experience modeling. They could have been modeling for 10 years, but they haven't yet got their first job. And so they come to us because they want to learn from people that are doing it professionally, of what should they be learning to model, what should they include in their portfolio.
Yeah, this would be an example that like this is more my realm because I'm on the computer animation industry. So these would be really good pieces. Here, Sergio, I think they're mostly geometric pieces, like you have a cube for these ones, planes, spheres, cylinders. It looks like you may be playing mainly with the lighting of the shot and texturing, which is a great idea, keeping the modeling simple. and focusing on the mood of the piece, which is great. So really good start. On the other hand, he has also more environments, and this is a cemetery.
And again, those are two separate jobs that maybe in a smaller studio you might be requested to do as well. But in a larger studio, lighting is a job by itself.
Mhm.
Texturing is a job by itself. I remember a good friend of mine, his wife was doing the texturing on World of Tomorrow. What was that? Captain, do you remember the film I'm talking about?
Treasure Pants, no, Captain Pants. I'm kidding. I love that show anyway. But look at this, like more interiors, like close-ups. So I'm not sure which software you're using, but I think this is decent. Now, one of the challenges we have for the modelers in studios, and the reason we open this program, let me actually go to this one right here so you can actually see it. So this would be VFX that he's applying for. And the VFX, we have this program, the Advanced 3D Modeling. So the challenges that modelers face in just before getting to studios would be that modeling, it is one of the first things that anyone, and I mean anyone, gets access to, right? They get Maya or they get Blender or any other 3D package. And the first thing they go and do is they model something, right? So there's a saturation of a lot of people that they have a basic ability to model. And the idea with our program, this is advanced, is how to really take something like this to the feature film quality that they need, right? And a lot of that goes back to the foundations. If you go to the curriculum, foundations is about what Calvin was mentioning, like live drawing for 3D modelists, anatomy for them. Foundations is very important, right? And then from this, they build up on their skills to really now advance into what they need. Many of the VFX studios, they look for likeness, and that means that they're typically working with with actors, famous people, right? And then everyone knows those actors. And the modeler needs to be able to create portraits in 3D, like 3D models that has a likeness for those actors. That's almost like a lot of the movies have that. They have that component, and then you as a modeler have to be able to take something like this into an advanced level. Hopefully that makes sense. And Cal, there's a question here. Can I use Blender for my animation? What do you think about that?
So Blender is a 3D animation software, and we've never dictated the software that the student uses, but you will not, I won't be opening up your scenes in Blender. What we teach in is Maya. Maya is the industry standard. Over 80% of the world uses Maya from Adobe. No, from Autodesk, I should say. And it's free for students. It's free for instructors. It's free for schools. Therefore, I would recommend learn the software that you're actually going to use when you get a job, because I've never heard of productions using Blender. Blender is a free software, but it was started more as a hobbyist software, and they teach it in a lot of high schools. So
yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move on now to let me pronounce his name. Properties Boluwatif, I believe, and applying for the video game design. And the portfolio submission would be, let me pull this up right here. It's a game, and it looks pretty awesome. Let me pull this up here 1 sec.
there's another student asking about 3D Studio Max. It used to be a popular software, and Autodesk actually bought 3D Studio Max, and it bought XSI from Softimage, and doesn't really support them. And it used to be used for a lot of video games, and it no longer is used for a lot of video games. Maya is what's being used. So we do not teach 3D Studio Max, we teach Maya.
Yeah. And the idea with that is that we're teaching the tools that the industry uses.
Yes.
So when you graduate, the gap between you and the workforce, it's quite small. Now the same for this one. So this is Boluwa Tiff, and this is the video game design portfolio. So he has an actual game, and thank you for making this into a video, because I think he sent before the actual game. So we're not going to open the game. We're not going to play the game. I mean, it's fun, but we can't do it, right? Because the computers are, you cannot install the game. That's what I'm saying. So this is a video, making it easy for us to see. This would be the same question, like what software is he using for something like this? It has to be industry standard. This is a really good start, and it would be nice to see if this is somehow a template from a game, or if he's coding on a game. So that's information that he has to provide. So he says that this is the gameplay that he's working on. It's a really good start. In games, we measure the game mechanics, right? Repetitive actions, how the game would be engaging someone from the first time that they play it to continuous plays. Another aspect would be to see the level design, which is, this would be one level. And then how do you go from one level to the other one? The other important aspect would be the psychology of the game, right? Like, what does that mean for someone who's playing the game? Is this game going to be played in a house, console, mobile, in like on the bus? Like, where is it? And the last one, which is the missing link, it's about how do we monetize this game, right? So all those things will be learned throughout the program for the video game design. And this is, I think, a really good start, Cal. What do you think?
Yeah. Clear indication that somebody has knowledge of building a game. And it's a rarity for us to get students that have already fully finished a game, right?
Yeah, exactly. And as part of the team, let me close this one. Let me pull it up here so Boluwa Tiff can see it. But this one, if I go now to the games, and then I quickly find that program, and I want to show you that curriculum, because the idea is that once you graduate, you will not be making the game on your own. There's a team of people, right? And then the faculty that teaches this program would be video game designers in studios, and this is what they will be teaching you. The foundations for game design, which is not doing the artwork, is not doing the models, is basically what I mentioned before, the psychology of these players, right? You're going to learn about the tools and the roles for that. Then this is all about the monetization, right? How to do from the mechanics, right, into the monetization of the game. And at the end, you have to show the skills in a portfolio. So I think it's a great start. Now getting you in that mode for the studio setting is the next step for you. Okay. Any final comments?
We have a special class as well that we added for teaching them coding. Isn't that correct?
Right. Yeah. So we use Unity for this one. If you go to the software, right here. So Unity, right? That's the game engine that the industry uses. There's many game engines, but this is the one that is being used the most. And this one has coding in C++, which is object driven, and then knowing how to do that as well, a little bit for your game design. Even though there's engineers in the studios, understanding coding and the engine is a really good idea, and it's so complementary to the video game designer. I guess the main takeaway is that you will not be designing creatures and characters and drawings and all that. That's concept artists. This is mainly for people that want to design the experience within the game.
We're reaching the 1 hour.
Yeah, I know. Let's move on. We have we're almost done. We have I like 5 more. I don't see the ending.
5 more. Just show me the image. Good. Next.
Yeah, let's move on. So this would be Renee. Let me put the portfolio right here for Renee. And Renee applying for the 2D animation. And this is, now you can see that portfolio has images, right? Poses. And there is basic animation, which is great.
Yeah, a couple movies.
Yeah, so she has taken the intro course at Vanas.
Okay.
Replay this one. So the snowman jump.
And this was drawn in 2D. Is that what she wants to do? 2D?
Yeah, 2D animation. Yeah.
No, any prior knowledge of actually moving a character is great, because timing, very important. Poses, very important. Drawing various styles, all good. You know, somebody that successfully goes through our intro course then automatically can apply and be accepted for our diplomas.
Right. Let me show that to the participants. You go animation and then 2D animation. So any of the diploma programs, if you do not have a portfolio, then you do have a way to earn your admission. So if you go to the admissions of any of the programs, it says right here, we require the portfolio, which is what we're reviewing. And then down below, it says, if students do not have a portfolio, they may earn their way to admission by successfully passing the intro course. And we have to be a B-, which is the equivalent to 73%. So that is what Renee has done. So yeah, this would be the portfolio building skills. The snowman is not really loading. Let me refresh this image. Sometimes YouTube has.
Yeah, this was all good.
Yeah, bouncing ball as snowman. So let me just try to play this one again. There you go. Cool.
Next.
Next. Okay, Renee, you're good. So it says feedback on how to turn what I enjoy into a professional portfolio, things that I should work on artistically, and what specific areas and focus studios are looking for in the industry. Cal, if you want to summarize that one in 10 seconds.
Who's asking this? And
Renee, same person as this one, Renee.
Okay.
Let me repeat the question.
I got it.
Okay, good.
Well, again, you'd have to take more than, I think 2D animation was about 2 weeks in the intro course, minimum of a year to learn the principles of animation. Studios want to see, can you do a good walk on a human, a biped character? Can you do a good personality walk? You know, are you showing the character of that with the performance? Can you do a pantomime? Can you do a person thinking? Are they lifting something, pushing something? Can you do dialogue, right? Between two characters? Can you do a sequence? Do you know how to connect scenes? You know, can you do 2 or 3 scenes in a row?
Yeah. So Renee, you're on the right track. Just more work, right? More practice, and until you become professional. That's the idea. And
animals. I like to do animals as well.
Okay, next in line would be Kelsey. Kelsey applying for the digital matte painting, and this is her portfolio right here. Matte painting.
Yeah, you've got to be really good at painting things ultra realistically. It has to look as if it's real. And that's what I see there.
Yeah, nice little piece, like stitching all these photos.
Yeah. Combining the elements, that they have the same lighting, color values.
Yeah, the you know, the understanding of the foundations, the perspective. Like when we open this program, is because many people get into matte painting, straight into Photoshop or straight into the you know, compositing software, but they lack all the foundations for like understanding perspective, right? What's close to the camera, what's away from the camera. So when they teach these photos like this one, everything has to be making sense with depth right? And lightning, obviously this would be a promo for a logo. But you can see the birds right here, right? The birds for scale, like all that has to have this cohesiveness.
A little bit of 3D modeling is necessary for matte painting because
I'd say yes. Yeah.
because they project their
Yeah.
paintings onto a mountain to make it look with the proper curvature.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, these ones seem to be more 2D images.
Yeah.
But once you get into the program that I'll point out right here for you to find it, you go to visual effects, and then down below, let me see right here. Yeah, Kelsey down below, and then you go for matte painting. So this would be now getting into the 3D matte painting, again, the high-end matte painting, right? And then this one, if I go to the curricula, you go again through from the foundations, like really understanding that, because it's very important. You have 2D foundations, static, and then look at this one. What's funny is that you have 2D and you have 2.5D, right? Which is great. And then really flowing from one to the other one. And then doing the photo bashing using complex tools that you can see right here using now Maya. It's 3 packages: Maya, your Photoshop painting software, and then you also have this one called Nuke. There is a couple of different plugins that you guys need to use. Pro EXR, because you're using high-res images, and then V-Ray, which is rendering engine software.
Right. And they use Nuke for compositing, for putting all the layers together, guys.
Yeah. So this is a great start. Awesome. Right now, getting this into, again, the high-end quality that you need, Kelsey. But this is awesome stuff. Let's move on. Thank you, Kelsey. Great work. And we have, let me just count. We have 2 more. Cal, let's just go through these ones.
Next.
Yeah. So, okay, we have another, I say misplaced submission, right? From somebody named Emma. Not able to follow the instructions on the link to the portfolio, and there's no link.
Yeah, it's always important to test everything before you, well, even after you submit it, and then resend it if it doesn't work, right?
Yeah. Because something that we would have been able to get feedback now just by a small, tiny oversight, then we can't do it, right? And we don't have a way to contact them and all these things. So you gotta make it easy and make sure that you are submitting what the instructions are asking. If it says link to a portfolio, then you need to know, okay, what does that mean by a link, right? Most likely would be a website or Google Drive or something like that. Okay, moving on to Ariane. Interested in 2D animation. Let me pull this up. And she has a note saying that her portfolio is very wide in the sense of the work that she has. And because she's saying, I like everything, right? I like 2D animation, 3D animation, game design, short films. Like, I love it. That's what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So she needs some guidance on how to choose the program. So,
what do you love the most? What when you're doing it, what obsesses you, right? Do you sit there and animate in 3D for every day? Or do you play games every day, right? Do you model every day? What is it that really, pushes you?
Exactly. That's good advice, because you'll be doing that
for very long, extended periods of time in a studio.
Yeah, at least 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Right. And then those 10 hours for 5 days a week.
Minimum.
Right.
Possibly part of the weekend as well, when there's crunch. Yeah.
Because every project, it lasts for 4 to 6 months. Then they span to 3-4 years. Right. So you got to be able to choose the position that you want. And that goes by what is it that you really do, like when no one's asking you to do something, what is it that you are doing? They say you're somewhat intrigued by it. You say that's awesome. So this one's more like a game. Look at this one. It's more like the camera.
Important part is to give a breakdown as well, because people have to know, did you do the modeling or did you just move the camera? Did you do the texturing? Did you do the lighting? Tell them what you did so they know.
Yeah. The other thing is that
Here I would
just
say
going back
everything.
to the previous question is like, you know, you may like something, but it doesn't tell anyone that you're good at that, right? So you have to align those two things, right? This model, for instance, is lacking anatomy, right? So if you want to be a 3D modeler and you like that, then you have to really work more for the anatomy, I guess, implementation of this model. Right, and that it's pretty common. Like, oh, this is a pretty common. You go in the industry or to school saying, I want to be this, and then the next person in your classmate, you know, they're really skilled, and it makes you reassess what is it that you're working on, right? And you say, I may be better at 2D animation, like this one, right? So this is 2D animation. Cal, it has anime characters, and then they have colored. So this is nice. Right, I think she's very well rounded. Yeah, so I guess this is John Travolta, is it? In
Yeah, feels like rotoscope.
Staying Alive, I think. I don't know. Anyway, this is kind of cool. So yeah, just pick what is it that you like, Ariane. Go back to your, I guess, a bit of soul search and see, okay, what is that I enjoy the most? Right? And try to align that with what am I good at? Am I good at this? Like, and that you would know by comparing your work with others.
And realize what you're getting in the course as well. If you're doing 2D animation, I find they do require you to do a little bit of character designing. They do require you to model and rig a 2D character, and then you animate it as well. Is that what you're interested in? Like, don't pursue, you know, that they're looking for a lot of 2D animators right now. But if you don't want to be a 2D animator, don't train at that. If you really loved modeling characters,
stay true to your passions.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Parik, I think that's his name or her name. Interested in concept art. And again, this would be a submission that is not properly submitted. So it says link to your portfolio. And there's no link, right? There's a faulty link, so we can't open it up. You've seen that happen now 3 times, so you see how important this is for the submission. So unfortunately, we're gonna skip the student. Moving on to Fred, right here from Brazil. Concept art. Let's see the submission. Yeah, I've seen this before. I checked his work before. Again, concept art for January. And he's specifically interested in one piece that is called the After the Rain plate. And that's this one. I don't remember
seeing this.
Yeah, it's one of the most recent submissions.
Ah, okay. Well, again, it's pretty amazing. Characters and vehicles in a exterior set with lots of perspective and design. Lighting, color, textures, it's all good.
So Fred, what I would say is that when you go in and see this portfolio, I mean, it has a pretty good impression, which is great. When then you start going into the finessing of the details, right? Like if I go back to the same piece that you wanted to get some feedback on, then we get very picky about things, right? Now I see, okay, this would be, seems like a fisheye lens that he's using for this camera angle, right? So I say that because the clouds, they seem to have a one vanishing point, which is great, but then the other elements, they don't have that, right? So if you're using one lens, that lens has to be throughout all the elements. Lighting is great. right? And again, it has a pretty good impact at the beginning, but then I'm questioning, okay, how is this lighting not really affecting the main building, right? So you want to work on that. Once you take this like awesome concept into the next level, those are the things that you got to be looking at, right? And it seems that you're superimposing things. This may be a work in progress piece, which is always work in progress, right? But you wanna be looking into that. So I think your environment work is pretty strong. I was looking also at your organic designs like these ones. And they also pretty nicely, like you understand color, right? But you need a bit more anatomy. You see how that elbow is being bent, not possible maybe, right? The perspective of that weapon right there. So there's always room for improvement, right? You have a really good foundation, strong foundation. So this would qualify for a concept art portfolio. And when we see something like this, we say, yes, we can help them with the faculty, right? From studios to really take what you know and what you have. And how do we really make them go from, let's say this is 7,
Yeah,
right? How do you go to 11, 12?
9.
More.
There's
more.
no
It's always
11
more.
on the scale.
I will
yeah.
say 11.
The you know, they're feeling a little flat. So coming and studying with professionals that can improve your knowledge of color and texture and light and shadow will push these to the next level, because you do have a lot of good design knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when I see these portfolios, like we don't really know the person that's submitting this, but when I see these portfolios, it really makes me think about people that are very interested in something and they keep on learning on themselves. Well, like this is so awesome. And then they're at a point that, okay, now I can get some guidance from someone from Disney, right? Tell me, how do I do this?
Yeah, you can only get better. This is showing us that you have a great work ethic, a great attitude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's saying he's comes from architecture and scenography. So yeah, that's awesome. Many students we have, they come from that background as well, set design and so on. And he was the last one. There you go, Cal.
Yay.
Awesome. So let's close the session. Maybe any final questions, comments, Cal, anything that you want to comment on?
Just want to thank everybody from taking time out of their busy day to attend this webinar.
Right, and go to the website. We've shown the website on purpose so you know how to navigate the website. Have a look at the deadlines, how they work, and then a reminder that any of the programs, they have the same structure. So meaning that if I pick by example this program, the structure for the website is the same. Go to the navigation menu here and then try to see what you want. Like I'm picking the start dates, right? Everything is posted for the public. We don't hide anything. You need to know the curricula, the classes, the time, every single thing, software admissions, right? Even the tuition. The tuition takes you to that page, and the page takes you to the scholarships and so on.
Any additional questions, please feel free to contact us. I put it in the chat, info@vanass.ca.
Yeah. So hopefully this is helpful for everybody, and we look forward to seeing you at Vanass, and also for pushing our industries to the next platforms, VR, right? All that stuff is going to be so amazing. Thank you, everyone. Awesome. Let's close the session. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.